The new Intel CPUs are announced, and we have a care package from Asus. This is their premium kit for the new Z890 platform. Let's open up and see what we've got inside. It is a big box and it's got a bunch of stuff inside. To be honest, it's got most of the things you should need for the build, besides case, CPU, storage, power supply. Okay, it has a lot of things in there anyway. Let's open up. It comes in this kind of funky package and even has little custom-made Velcro straps to open it up. And you open up like a Christmas present. So we have the motherboard on the front. We have a cooler on the back. This is the new Ryzen version 3. This kit is going to be an expensive one, and I reckon it's going to be in the range between $100 and $100,000, somewhere in between. Whereabouts? I don't know, because we don't actually have the final price for it yet. But what we have here, so we have a little card saying Unleash the Beast Within. We have the motherboard itself. This is the Z890 Hero. So it's one of the higher end boards. Not the highest end, but it's, I believe it's like in the top 3 that Asus does. Then we have the Beast Overcooler with a little LED screen on the front. So we've got a review of Ryzen version 1 and version 2 on our channel from before. If you want to check them out, check the link below. And if you're not paying attention, it's easy to miss more things. Right here, there's a little hidden compartment. And you can actually pull it out. And here we have thermal paste kit. We get a nice bit of Velcro. And lastly, we have some Dominator memory. This is the Dominator Titanium. And this particular kit is 7200 mega transfers CL34. So that's very fast RAM. For the cooler itself, it's a cooler and it's the next generation of the Ryzen coolers. It's a bit of a same, but slightly different. There's some improvements in there, but we'll leave that to the side. Let us know in the comments below if you would actually like us to review this in depth. But I want to focus on the motherboard, since this is the new motherboards you're going to get with this generation. This is an ROG Maximus Z890 Hero. Just like always, these are the motherboards that are normally used by reviewers when the new launch happens. So, you know, when Intel and AMD trusts these boards as the main kind of deployment, you know they're quite good. They have improved this board over last gen with a few features, and we can go through that now. Since this is for the latest Intel CPUs, this features the LGA 1851 socket, and they can support your DDR5 and PCIe Gen 5. This particular board has 4 RAM slots, and you can put up to 192 gigabytes of memory here. With this latest generation, all of these motherboards, and Asus in particular, are trying to push as far as 10,000 mega transfer speeds. The paired RAM is only 7.2 thousand, but I think they're being quite safe in terms of making sure things work out of the box. But this generation is going to go way faster than that. Then we have a bunch of expansion. So we have 3 PCIe slots, the top slot, which is Gen 5 times 16. We have 2 more slots down the bottom here. So we have, this is a Gen 4 by 1 and Gen 4 by 4. These 2 are connected to the chipset just behind here. As far as the storage is concerned, you can't actually see it here, but we have 6 NVMe drives. One is behind this slot over here. So this is the primary slot that connects directly to the CPU. This is running PCIe Gen 5, and it doesn't have any sacrifices. It will always run at full speed. Just below this heatsink, we have 5 more drives. Out of these bottom 5 drives, we have 3 that connect directly to the chipset, and 2 connect to the CPU, with one of them sharing the PCIe lanes. So if you put in a second PCIe Gen 5 drive down the bottom, what that would do is that would convert this 16-lane PCIe Gen 5 to 8 lanes. So you essentially be sharing lanes between the GPU and one of the PCIe Gen 5 drives. On the other hand, the PCIe Gen 4 drive in this section goes directly to the CPU. So therefore you can actually have 2 full-speed drives connected to the CPU and 16X graphics card without having any sacrifices. And then what you should do then is connect up to the bottom 3 drives, which connect via the chipset. So therefore you could have 2 full drives connecting to the CPU, 3 drives connecting via the chipset and still retain full 16-lane speed on your graphics card, which could be very, very cool. But also an enormous amount of storage you can put just in the NVMe drives, which makes basically the SATA ports almost irrelevant. Let's carry on going through the board itself. On the right hand side here, we have 2 USB Type-C connectors. These are running at 10 and 20 gigabit. We also have a USB 3.2 Type-A header. Down the bottom we have a few USB 2.0 as well, and an additional USB 3.2 Type-A. On the back we have a great assortment of ports. What you see at the back here, you have a bunch of 5 gigabit ports in blue, you have 10 gigabit ports in red, and we also have 2 Thunderbolt ports which are 40 gigabit each. We also have dual network, so we've got 2.5 and 5 gigabits. You got the HDMI as well as the the clear CMOS and BIOS flashback buttons. Down the bottom we've got one more Type-C. We got the typical Wi-Fi 7 and some audio ports right at the bottom here. As far as the connections go at the back, this is a fully featured board with basically everything you need. You can actually connect the 5 gigabit speed link directly to your NAS or a home server, and then use the 2.5 gig for your gaming. Trust me, you don't need more than 2.5 gigabits for your gaming. Honestly speaking, for your gaming, you probably get away with 100 meg. All you need is good latency. But for downloading and storing your files, the 5 gigabit connected to your server would be absolutely awesome. Throughout the board itself, we have a bunch of DIY features. We have a whole stack of fan headers. You got 4 up here with some RGB as well. We've got a bunch of them at the bottom as well. So you've got a fan header here and 3 more over here, which brings a total to 8 fan headers. And we've got additional RGB down below. For those who would like overclocking, there's a power and reset button at the top, and also the QLED for any error codes that you have when you eventually blue screen or can't boot. So you know exactly what's going wrong, and then you can troubleshoot from there. With this latest generation, Asus also improved the little Q latch for the graphics card. And I really like this. This is the same thing that they've done on the AMD board. Is basically you can put in the graphics card in here, and rather than having to press a separate button to unlock it, all you do is you kind of just tilt it out and it comes out. And let me grab a graphics card and I'll show you what I mean. So once your motherboard is mounted inside the case, you just install your graphics card. And as you can see, it's solid. It's in there, it's not going anywhere. But if you want to remove it, rather than having to press a button, you just go and lift it up from this side, and it comes out. Obviously, if your motherboard is mounted, it comes out much easier. But generally speaking, I'm just going to hold the motherboard in. It comes out very easily. But when you need it in and secured, it's solid. It's a very cool tool. So that's a bit of innovation here. As you've seen earlier, we have a little latch for the M.2 drive as well. So you literally just put this in. It feels very industrial. Put it in place and secure it. So it wobbles a bit because you don't have a drive in there. So to install the drive, just open it up, slide it out. And this actually supports the longer drives that you might have in servers. So let me see. So you can just open it up, put the drive in, and it just holds in place here. And then you secure it in place. Nice and solid. And no tools involved. And the same goes for the other ones. Just clicks in place. Very smooth, very nice. No need for screwing anything in place. The only place you're going to need a screwdriver is to install, remove and install this plate. So you've got 4 screws. Other than that, you're basically sorted. So this is very convenient to install and makes any build just that much smoother. So that's about it. That's the overview of the motherboard. Let us know in the comments below if you'd like us to go a bit deeper into any of these components, any particular testing you'd like us to do, and we can consider that for our upcoming videos. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.